I seen this yesterday, man, and I wanted to dive right in, but I was so upset. I had so many different mixed emotions: sadness, hurt, anger, that I said, you know what? I'm gonna let myself calm down, and then I'm gonna speak on it. This situation is a worst case scenario of all the things that I speak about in the black community: fatherless homes, the negative influence that rap have on our community, um, black on black crime. And if you watch my episode of Freestyle Friday last week, which is airing every Friday, um, I gave a situation in my small hometown where a situation like this, well, it wasn't like this, but it was the same preference of a black man killing a black woman. You know, back in the days, man, we used to talk about white people. We used to pick at them and talk about how they killed their own family members and how they molested their family members and how they always committed suicide. But fast forward today, and all this stuff is going on in the black community. Over the last couple of years, you have seen an influx of black men killing their wives, their baby mamas, etc. This has never been happening. Just as well as the suicide, um, and the pedophilia, because a lot of pedophilia goes on in the black community, but because we don't want to embarrass our name, embarrass ourselves, embarrass our family, it gets swept under the rug. Whereas in those white families, they going to the police. It's man overboard if something like that happen. With the black community, we don't want uncle to go to jail because that's gonna ruin the name. We don't want our son, or we don't want we gonna just sweep this under the rug. I know several cases, several, not one, two, three. I know several cases of pedophilia that took place in the black community, but was swept under the rug because of fear of embarrassment. But we not talking about that today. We talking about this situation here. Sad, sad, sad situation. Now, I spoke about a situation close to this in my, like I said, episode last week of Freestyle Friday, because in my small town, they had two adults. They was my age, 35. Um, they was in a toxic relationship. Um, People, neighbors said the cop was constantly coming to the house. And eventually everything came to a head. He shot and killed his baby mother and her 15-year-old son. He didn't kill her son. He shot the son, but the son ended up making it. This was a guy who wasn't in the streets. I don't know him personally, but I know people who know him personally because once again, I'm from a small town. Everybody know everybody, and this was a guy who was in the military, pretty much the dude who on the other side, not the street, the wild guy, the what you would call a good guy. And if you go look if you go look on the young ladies page, same as majority of these black women today, um, you know, is giving Instagram model vibes. But that's not here or there. That's not no reason for her to be killed. But he ended up killing her. They just had a brand new baby, not even a year old. He killed her, shot her stepson. I mean, shot his stepson, or the son, because they wasn't together no more. And his life over. His life is over. He got a attempt murder on a minor with a firearm, and he killed that woman. It's his life over. He my age, 35. You will never see him on the streets again. The best thing he can look for, and he can't even use that because he didn't catch nobody cheating. But the best thing that he can look for is a crime of passion. And like I say, that's not gonna be eligible because he didn't catch her cheating. Right? So I'm just got to finish talking about this in my Freestyle Friday episode last week. I was talking about how it's been happening too much in the black community. And then yesterday, I see this. Yesterday, I come across this. New mother with 3 weeks old baby murdered by her ex-boyfriend after telling him the baby was not his. You listen to black female rappers, you will understand the black woman. Just like if you listen to rappers, you will understand the black man. Rap music shapes, influences the black community for the most part, especially the youth. So it's a good chance, because let's be honest about it. This dude understand. Yes, he's a teenager. Yes, but he clearly understood what the consequences of his actions was gonna be. And you could take this however you want to take it. That young man did not, and I'm not saying what he did was right. I want to say that first and foremost. He will pay for what he did in this life, and if he don't repent, he gonna pay for it in the afterlife as well. But this young man did not wake up one morning and say to himself, I'm about to throw my life away. They probably had a falling out, and she played this mental gymnastics and told him, hey, this is not your child. Or she moved on with a new guy, or was creeping with a new guy, and found out the baby really wasn't his. And these days, men feelings is just not taken in consideration. So forget how he felt that he about to be a father and come to find out it's not his, whether she said that out of being angry and toxicity, or whether she was saying that to be truthful. Either way the cut go, he wasn't able to take that, and he made a big mistake. Now let's talk about this young lady. We live in a generation today where women, well, I'm not going to say women because I don't date women. I date black women. So we're going to just talk about black women because that's what this channel is for anyway. Well, black women have a lot of, and like I say, it's being perpetuated by the music that they listening to. But these days, black women in their mind believe, you'll see them post it. You'll see them. A lot of them post this and they're posting to get 1,000 likes. You single, girl, if you ain't got a ring. If he cheat back. Girl, date as many men as you want. Girl, you might have picked the wrong homeboy. All of this stuff is being told to our women. Also, these young women, because as I'm about to let y'all hear, they come up in one of the parts of Dallas by the name of Oak Cliff, which is the real trenches. I'm talking about the trenches of the trenches. So we know what the environment they come up in. We know it's a good chance that neither one of them had fathers in their life. As a matter of fact, I would be willing to put everything I own on that. And as I said in the beginning of the video, this is the worst case scenario that comes from all of the things that I speak about. Now, there's a good chance this young woman is being raised by her mother, who probably date multiple men, does what she want, tells her daughter, baby, you too young to settle down with one man. And these mothers are not only the music doing it, but the mothers, by their lifestyle and by some of the things they tell their daughter, they egging it on. Yeah, girl, don't settle down. Yeah, girl, there's more men out there. Yeah, girl, you too young. But they not telling them to keep their leg closed. They telling them basically, listen, do whatever you want, black woman. That's what the rap music telling them. That's what they mama telling them. And it's a good chance this young woman mother is probably in her late 30s, early 40s, still trying to be a young woman, and she dating trappers and doing all this type of stuff. These two individuals come up in a broken home. It's no, listen, if I'm wrong, well, I'm just wrong. I could be wrong. I'm a human being. But I'm going to let y'all listen to the news story about this. And after that, I'm going to add my commentary.
17-year-old Trayvon Wright was arrested for murder Tuesday by U.S. Marshals and booked into the Dallas County Jail. The victim, Lancaster High School junior Ikea Hood, was fatally shot Sunday morning at her mother's home on Grambling Drive in southeast Oak Cliff, according to Wright's arrest warrant affidavit. Hood's family has said she gave birth to a baby girl just 3 weeks prior. According to the affidavit, Hood's mother told police the suspect and Hood had been in an on-again, off-again dating relationship for the past 2 years.
See?
And that Hood had recently learned that her newborn daughter had not been fathered by suspect Wright. Hood's mother also told police her daughter planned to confess to Wright Sunday, January 7th, the day the murder took place, according to the documents. They also say Wright believed the newborn child to be his. The affidavit says Hood's mother heard a loud noise in her home around 10:30 a.m. and said she'd seen Wright in Hood's room. She found that the door was locked from the inside. The 17-year-old girl's mother, Dallas police say 17-year-old girl's mother became concerned for complainant Hood's safety and began banging on the door. She then approached Hood's bedroom from the outside and noted that the window was open and that the screen had been pushed outside of the residence. Hood's mother discovered Hood was suffering from a gunshot wound and Wright was gone. She dialed 911, and when paramedics arrived, the girl's mother became concerned for Dallas police.
You heard it. You heard it. You heard it. Now, this is a 17-year-old young woman in a junior in high school who's been quote unquote on again, off again, toxic, on again, off again with a young man. We know what kind of lifestyle he living. We clearly know what kind of lifestyle she living. Her mom, as you can see, her mom was okay with him coming in the house. Let's not play games. And you'll hear some of these young, stupid black mothers say, well, I'd rather them do it here than go out and be sneaky with it. This is the type of stuff that's coming up. No father was in his home. I'm telling you what I know. I put my neck on a chopping block. It was no man in neither one of these individuals' life. And all that toxic stuff that these females, city girl and all of them rap about, that's all cute. Until this happened. Then now not as a good chance they broke. So they don't got no money to bury her. So now they got to sell plate lunches, pork sandwiches to bury them, number one. They got balloon releases and this old cry. But this is your fault. This is the parents' fault that this took place. Her father failed her. His father failed him. Her mother failed her. And now that's what she got to deal with. Her daughter gone. Now she gonna have to raise this child. He young, so they might not give him too much time. They probably give him 20, 30 years. So he'll be about 40 when he get out, right? His son gon' 9 times 10 get caught up in the streets of Dallas. And we know how that can turn out. And that's because of this toxicity in the black community that seems cool. And I've been, once again, I don't make this channel to come off as puritanical or sanctimonious. I have been in these toxic situations. I have done it. I remember I had a situation where I was dating this chick we was in a relationship for 7 months. We decided that this wasn't gonna work out. Let's go our separate ways. But we still was doing all the same stuff, having unprotected sex, spending nights. But basically what we did was cut the ties so she can do her on the side legally and I can do me on the side legally. And that is never going to end well. Worst case scenario is this. Second worst case scenario, a baby come out of these toxic situations. Now the baby is in the middle of two toxic individuals that's going to be playing all kind of mental, physical gymnastics. And this has been heralded in our community. This is cute to be toxic. You see these little girls, man, They 16 and 17-year-old, and their spirit of toxicity is already on them. I was talking to my mom the other day, and she was telling me about a young lady who was dating a guy, and they broke up, but they still was quote unquote friends. We know, you see what I'm saying? That's toxic. They were still quote unquote friend, meaning they were still having sex, meaning they were still doing relationship stuff, just without the commitment, right? That's what that means. So they out now. They went out to, I think, to a movie, if I'm not mistaken. They went out to a movie. Now mind you, they not in a relationship no more. But they went out to a movie, um, and she caught him looking at another woman, overreacted, and ended up going home later on that day or the next day, cutting his tire, breaking his window, and all that. My mama was saying about how she wrong. Well, I'm gonna say this here. Yeah, she was wrong. But you know who was really wrong? I'm always get a man the bigger piece of the pie, because the man is not supposed to be overly emotional. The man is supposed to be logical. The man is supposed to be a problem solver. He is not. But I get it. I get it. A lot of these men today, and this is what these women don't understand. That's why a lot of these women can't have a good relationship with these men today, and they don't understand that they raising these same men. They being raised by mama, and mama only know discipline when she angry. So she only react out of emotion. And when he ain't around mama, he around auntie. When he ain't around auntie, some of these women bring these poor boys to the beauty shop. All they around is mama and grandma. All they around is a bunch of women, and all that emotional gets attached to them. They not around no men. And like I said, this has a string of effects too. This is why black men is constantly getting killed by police, because they not used to no man giving them a direct verbal order, because no man came up in the house with them. All they know is mama. And what mama does is mama gets overly emotional, can't control her emotions, and that's what he do with the police and end up dead. So by women being overly emotional, her emotions got the best of her, even though they wasn't in a relationship, and she ended up busting his windows and cutting his tires. And yes, she was wrong. But like I say, he was more wrong, but he was more wrong than she was, because women have emotions and you can't play with them. And if you play with them, you got to deal with the consequences. When you, and this is another issue, like I said, when you, it shouldn't be no, just like the situation that happened, like I was just speaking, after mentioning in the beginning of the video, the situation that happened in my town. It was said that the cop was constantly going back and forth over there. And once cops involved, that's a wrap. Once, I don't care what I don't care how you want to clean it up, how you want to paint it. Once cops is involved, that should be the end. But that toxicity is because it's so, because it, and I'm gonna show you something else about being toxic. It can be fun sometimes, because when I'm gonna show you something about a toxic relationship, the sex is always good, right? And people stay with these situations, and like I say, in the situation with a young man out here in my town, now you done been doing all this toxicity, and now a baby done came out. See, I was lucky. I was in several toxic situations, but it was no baby. So once it was over with, it was over. It was no ties for me. But now you play this game, and all this shit be going on, and now a baby involved now. Like I say, the young man out here, and now you gotta deal with this person now. So now the toxicity is permanent now. You didn't invited toxicity into your life, drama and pain, for 18 years. And that's a long time, longer than it sounds. So these young women, this young woman, we know is a good chance how her mama is. We know the music that she listened to. We know the lifestyle that she was living. And now she was in an on again, off again toxic relationship. These are children, man, in high school, bro. Shouldn't even be focusing on they shouldn't even be focusing on none of this stuff. But because they was in a toxic relationship, she was having sex with him and whoever else wanted to have some sex. And a lot of these trap dudes, these older trap dudes, they target these young girls. Could have been an older guy. But now, stuff that hit the fan that this ain't even his child. Now I don't know if she was telling him that because they was getting into it, but it was said that that wasn't his child. After y'all had been in an on again, off again toxic relationship in high school, and you end up getting pregnant, you tell this man that his child. And because he wasn't raised without his father, and he can't control his emotions, and I'm gonna say this as well, in his defense, he may, even if he was raised with his father, there's certain things that men just can't accept. You know what I'm saying? When a woman cheat on us that we love, it's just hard for us to swallow, whether we have a daddy or not. Certain things happen to us that it's hard for us to accept because, men, we got to deal with our heart. We got to see, women just got to deal with their heart being broke. We got to deal with heartbreak. We got to deal with pride. We got to deal with this planning out. It's just so much we got to deal with when our woman cheat on us. And having a baby on me is cheating on me. You let somebody, not only did you let somebody have sex with you let somebody busting you and got you pregnant. Got me thinking it's my baby, and it's not even my baby, bruh. And I'm just supposed to take that on the chin. This dude wrong for what he did, bro, and he gonna pay. And if he don't repent, he gonna pay twice. But is that gonna bring this little girl back? Is that gonna get his baby a daddy and a mama back? 2 lives was ruined because of what's cool in our community. Toxicity. That's cute. As a matter of fact, I seen Young Miami from the City Girl actually make a post one day about that, about how men like toxic women. Really? If a man like a toxic woman, he a woman. Because ain't nobody want to deal with that, man. Men don't got time to deal with that, bro. We got enough stuff we got to be dealing with in this world. Women don't deal with what we deal with. I don't care what color they is. Black women, they got to go through what they got to go through, and they got their own personal plight, but they plight ain't our plight. And that's another story. That's why we need to come together, you feel me, so we can fight both our plight. But that's another video for another day. What I'm talking about in this video is toxicity and how it's been perpetuated as being a cool thing in our community, and now it done trickle down to children. What are you doing in an on again, off again relationship, and you in high school? You're a junior. You're not even a senior. So you in 10th grade, and from 9th to 10th grade or whatever grade you in, because it say 2 years, you've been in an on again, off in a relationship. Your mother know about it. What are we doing here? And now, not only has 2 lives been ruined, really 3 lives, because now this child is gonna come up without his real or her real parents. And no matter who raised a child, foster parent, grandparent, step parent, a child always yearns for the 2 spirits that created him. So this child is not gonna never experience that with his mother. And his father, whatever relationship he had with his father, is gonna be, it's gonna always be behind a cage, because this brother is about to get 20, 30 years. They might even give him life because it was premeditated. So we don't know how that's gonna turn. I don't really know how the Texas law system works, but he in trouble. And this young man or young woman that got to be raised in the world, 3 weeks old, about to be raised in the world without his parents. And there's a good chance his grandparents is still young, trying to live their life. Because if they wouldn't, they'd have been a better role model for their children. And their children would have been doing this kind of stuff. I'm not saying how you live your life mean your children gonna be perfect. But you mean to tell me your daughter is in a toxic 2-year on and off relationship and she not even out of high school? Are we serious? Are we really serious? And now look where we at. We at the worst case scenario. And this has been happening all too much in our community. And the bad news is, this the bad news. Y'all ready for it? Come to the screen. I need y'all to make sure y'all put y'all ears. Stick that ear part in hard as you can. And come to the screen. Whatever, however you listen to this, I want you to hear what I'm about to tell you. Guess what? It's going to be a whole lot more. Because see that mindset that these black women got? If he cheat, I'ma cheat back. Well, guess what? They got some brothers they ain't accepting that, bro. They got some brothers that they don't care no more. They got some brothers that they so caught up with it. They got some brothers that so toe up they'll kill you and kill themselves. We've seen it. And they got some brothers that feel so bad that they so hurt that they gonna take your life. They ain't letting it ride. Or they gonna beat you to a pulp. The good thing to do is just say, you know what? He cheating on me. I love him. It might be hard, but this is it. She called the police on me. I love her. She got some good head. She got some good but this is it. Once the police was there, we have to start making these decisions. And when we make these decisions to walk away, we have to stop playing games. As I told you about the young man my mom was talking about, if you listen, you not in a relationship, y'all made a conscious decision to break up. I don't care how your mama doing. I'm not checking on the kids. If I don't have none with you, I'm not checking your page. I'm not doing none of that. Once we're done, we're done. Ain't no way I'm gonna go check on it, girl. I'm going to see how his mama doing. All you doing is playing game with yourself. I'm gonna hit her up and see if I can still get some of that good that punani or the good head. I'm gonna see if I can just hit her up and see what she talking about. What's up, babe? You playing a game, brother. Y'all playing games, sisters. And them games can come down to one of y'all not only getting hurt or killed, it can bring a child into this foolishness. And in this case, in the case I told y'all about Freestyle Friday last week, they have a brand new baby. He probably about a year, and this baby is 3 weeks. This 2 black children, right? This 2 black children that don't even get a fair shake at life. What is a fair shake? To grow up with your mother and father. Does that mean you're going to be successful and do great things? No. Because you raised by a single mother, does that mean you automatically be put in prison and be a counterproductive citizen in the community? No. But we understand the statistics. We understand the field reports. We understand experiences that we've seen. Children raised by single mother, which usually happens. It's exception to every rule, but we know what the rule is. Children that's raised in 2-parent home is exception to the rules, but we know what usually happens because they're a balanced person. And so now, what happened out here a couple weeks ago, this situation, there's so many going on in the world that I don't know about yet. I'm going to speak on it if I catch them and they come across my desk. But this is 2 black babies in 1 month who lost both of their parents and not even going to get a fair shake at life. Because once again, a fair shake at life is being raised in a home with your mother and your father so you can be a balanced adult. And all this come about by the toxic relationship dynamic that we have in our community that is perpetuated as cool and fun. And and I'm not blaming the black women. I'm not just blaming the black men. I'm blaming both of y'all. Black men, yes, you have to take a bigger piece of this pie because as the head, you have to make better decisions. You have to be more logical in your movements. You have to move with a purpose in everything you do. You cannot be sticking your thing in all these women. And if that's what you decide to do, make sure you're using protection. Because once these children are brought in, everything changes. 2 children lives are ruined now. 2 family lives are really 4 families. Because guess what? Although his family get to see him, although this brother that situation that happened out here with the dude I know, although they family get to still see them, seeing your family member, your loved one, your child in bondage and you can't get them out is almost like burying them. So 4 families have been ruined. 2 children's lives has been ruined. They don't get a fast shake at life because of the music that we listen to, because of what we see our mothers and fathers doing. We got to do better, man. We have to do better. And if we don't do better, man, listen, let's stop crying. Let's just go ahead on and swallow it. Let's just go ahead on and deal with what we deal with. And stop blaming everybody else. This ain't got nothing to do with no other race, which just took place in this situation, in the situation I told you about in my hometown, and in all of these situations that's been happening with an influx of black men killing black women. This is an outrage. So I'm gonna let y'all hear this story once again, And I'm gonna close out. And I don't even know what I'm gonna file this video under. Cause I don't know if I wanna file it under a message to the black man, message to the black woman. I just don't know. I might make a new series. But this has to stop. I might file this under Are You a Good Parent? Because clearly both of these individuals had bad parents. Why are you a junior? You're not even a senior. Why are you a junior in high school having unprotected sex with multiple men in an on again, off again 2-year relationship with another young? What are you doing? What are you doing? People, your legal guardian failed you. And let's just say none of this would have happened and she would have lived a life. You got a whole baby as a junior in high school. Don't you know a baby is an anchor? Don't you know what a baby is? You 17 years old. You're not ready to be no mother. Half of these women out here in their 30s and early 40s now don't want to be mothers. A mother is not somebody who feed the baby, clothe the baby, get a baby a house. That's not a mother. What it takes to be a mother is no way at 17 years old you ready to be that. It's no way. There's a lot of women today I know in their 30s and 40s who supposed to be something bigger in life, but they had these babies for the wrong men and now they stuck. Been a CNA for 20 years, 15 years, 10 years. They supposed to be an RN, LPN at least. But guess what? They ain't got nobody to watch them kids while they go back to school. So now they stuck as a CNA. Right? These babies are anchors. You know how many women I know was in college, got pregnant, and they had to drop out of college. And now they working at some fast food restaurant or in a plant slaving where women shouldn't even be at. Slaving in a plant, dealing with the cold, dealing with the heat. Man, ain't no woman supposed to be going through that. But some of these women have to go through that because of the bad decisions that they made by letting the wrong men. And like I say, I get a man of bigger people. These women have to take some of that too. Because when you let certain men inseminate you, I understand people got sexual urges. People go with their flesh. And like I say, I'm not trying to come off as, oh, I'm perfect. I don't listen. People make mistakes. People do stuff. But man, strap up, bro. Strap up, sis. Make that man strap up. And if he don't want to strap up, don't let him get it because you know this dude ain't got no house. You know he ain't got no car. You know he a trapper. You know what he doing something, or he either he ain't got his stuff together, or he doing something that tells you from statistics that he gonna be killed or put in prison. Why would you let somebody like that inseminate you? A man don't have a career, got his stuff together, got bank account, got his stuff going for himself. Why are you letting him? A lot of these women letting their own son inseminate them. And what I mean by that is not incest, but they got a guy staying with them. He eating her food. He don't pay no bills. He laying in her bed playing Xbox all day, not doing nothing. And they letting this man inseminate you. This is your son. He drive your truck. He drive your car. You know what I'm saying? This is who y'all letting inseminate y'all. So y'all gotta, you black women have to take a piece of this. Because at the end of the day, you the one gonna be stuck with this baby. The man can go off and do whatever he want. And there's a good chance he ain't gonna be paying no child support because once he know he gotta pay child support, he gonna go do whatever he gotta do to get around that. And a lot of these women don't be putting these dudes on child support because if they put you on child support and you is a good father to the point where you paying, that means every other year they gotta switch and let you get income tax. So they don't want you getting none of the income tax. So because of that, they'll let you stay on off child support because they want them income tax every year, right? But that's another story for another day, man. Like I said, man, I'm gonna let y'all listen to this news story once again. Um, and I want y'all to think about this. I want y'all to dwell on this, man. If you in a toxic relationship, if you know somebody in a toxic relationship, if you made bad decisions and your children is in the possibility of getting a toxic relationship, this need to be seen. This needs to be seen and shared. This is a very serious situation, and it's happening way too much in our community. And it's because it's being perpetuated as cool. Being toxic is not cool and it's not fun. It don't bring you nothing but heartache and pain. And in some cases, in some worst case scenarios, death or prison time. And if a child is in the middle of that, he gonna suffer too, because now he don't get a fair shake at life. Thank y'all for listening, and God bless.
Dallas police say 17-year-old Trayvon Wright was arrested for murder Tuesday by U.S. Marshals and booked into the Dallas County Jail. The victim, Lancaster High School junior Ikea Hood, was fatally shot Sunday morning at her mother's home on Grambling Drive in southeast Oak Cliff, according to Wright's arrest warrant affidavit. Hood's family has said she gave birth to a baby girl just 3 weeks prior. According to the affidavit, Hood's mother told police the suspect and Hood had been in an on-again, off-again dating relationship for the past 2 years, and that Hood had recently learned that her newborn daughter had not been fathered by suspect Wright. Hood's mother also told police her daughter planned to confess to Wright Sunday, January 7th, the day the murder took place, according to the documents. They also say Wright believed the newborn child to be his. The affidavit says Hood's mother heard a loud noise in her home around 10:30 a.m. and said she'd seen Wright in Hood's room. She found that the door was locked from the inside. The 17-year-old girl's mother, Dallas police say 17-year-old Trayvon girl's mother became concerned for complainant Hood's safety and began banging on the door. She then approached Hood's bedroom from the outside and noted that the window was open and that the screen had been pushed outside of the residence. Hood's mother discovered Hood was suffering from a gunshot wound and Wright was gone. She dialed 911, and when paramedics arrived, they found the girl's mother became concerned for complainant Hood's safety.